So this is going to be probably the fastest battle you're ever going to see. You can only do this in the neutral playthrough. You're doing this on lawful, or you're doing this on chaos. I'm not sure this battle pops up, and if it does, I don't know how this goes. Because there's the boss priest here. This is the only way to recruit him. Not recruitable in the other runs.
What's the self-styled leader of the resistance doing in these parts? Come to beg our help, have you? Or perhaps you've come to convert the free seas to your cause.
Would you join us? What use this badgering of our own people? You've got steel and men. Use them to serve Valeria.
We answer only to the wisdom of the Father and the cruelty of the sea. Why help your sort? Power-hungry men fighting to soak their lands with blood.
Then we will vanquish you like the pirates you are.
You're more spine than rumoured, have it? Sounds like the girl was telling the truth. A truce, then. Our swords could use the rest. And there's someone I'd have you meet, girl by the name of Syria.
Syria? What's Syria doing with pirates?
There's no pirates here, lad. You're looking at what's left of the Liberation Front. You only need trust us a moment. We'll talk after you met the girl.
All right. If this is a trap, know that retribution will be swift.
No trap, though, but we did avoid a battle.
I thought the Liberation Front was destroyed.
Captain Elrig and his men were at sea when Bode was attacked. It was by chance alone I found them when I did. Docked at Rhyme. I've been watching you from afar. It seems you've gone from playing the hero to being one.
There are few who would give me such credit. Will you join us, Saria? I feel we share much the same goals.
I would be honored. You saved my life at Bode. I would fain return the favor.
Hooray! You enjoy that one? So both Syria, who I like, and she's kind of, I don't know if I was going to say she's super important in the storyline, but she's relatively important in the storyline, as well as this random cleric has joined my team. So that's good. What else do we need to do? So while no one was looking, or while we were away, I was away, the little fortresses, you see the little blue flags on. There are a total of 6 of them, I think. Maybe more, maybe I'm wrong, maybe there's 8. Anyways, I've been going and doing the battles at these fortresses, because each one of them helps to unlock a future battle down the road. But for right now, we are going to be fighting the last of what's his face? I don't remember. He's a beast master.
I recognize you, lad. What business see you out here?
I might ask the same of you, Gamp. Who'd have thought you were the bandit thorn in Grimsby's side?
You took me friends away, you did. Made me very, very sad. Boys, get out here!
I've been paying attention to this playthrough. I have not killed either Berta or the other one in any of the missions up to this point. However, that being said, the game doesn't keep track of that information, so it assumes that you killed them regardless. I choose not to kill them because all you have to do is knock Gamp out in order to end his missions. This is, of course, like I said, the final version of these missions. And so if I do this correctly, I should be able to recruit him. And if I do it wrong, he's going to die. So we'll see what happens. I'd like to recruit him. He would be another strong asset to my team. However, this is again one of those situations where, you know, you line up a shot. You say he has 200 HP, and you're going to do 158 damage to get him down into the range where he should surrender, and you accidentally crit. There's no rewinding that. So you could restart the level if you don't save, but you can't rewind in the tarot cards back one turn to where the point you didn't kill him. So, annoying. I think if you do recruit him, well, obviously, if you kill one of his birds, he can't recruit him. But I believe if you do recruit him and you don't kill his birds again, they both Berta and whatever the other one's name is come with him. You get to recruit all three, so you basically, I guess the short point is you if you're gonna put him in, you're probably gonna want to put in the two griffins as well. Oh. So I've not had a lot of time to watch television, streaming as of recently. A lot of my time's been revolving around work and coming home from work and getting ready for work the next day. Just that part's bad, but the not watching television part's not super bad, I guess. People always talk, I like watching TV, blah, blah, blah. It's such a waste. Okay, that's fine. It's a good relaxing activity like playing video games, at least in my opinion. But there's a lot of like, I don't care shit on television. And maybe it's because I never really bought into a lot of the premises of television. I remember back in the day being sort of interested, at least for an episode and a half, with the concept of loss. Well, not loss, but lost. The one where the plane crashes and they end up on the island. And then it just kind of gets more ridiculous after that point. But my point where I jumped ship on that show was when they found guns on the shore. I noped right out of that show at that point, because at first I thought it was sort of an interesting, how do you progress with the storyline when you're, the whole stranded on a desert island thing. Where are we going to go with this? Are they going to break up into communities, groups, tribes, however you want to put them? They're going to stick together. Is civilization going to override I want to say natural selection. It's not really that dire. Natural selection is not really that dire. The way the show went, it wasn't. We weren't like we're going to do the thing where, okay, we're here to hunt you, we're going to kill each other, and then roll a big boulder over the fat kid. But I thought it'd be an interesting concept. Okay, how do you do this? Do you it's not only like sort of a social experiment, but it's also like a sort of a philosophical, questions that were, that could be asked, and in a way, whoever's writing the show could, give insight into their opinion on, society versus nature. When there's no government around, do people fly freer, or are they still constrained by the rules of the old, the quote unquote old world, where that having a society that has structure is good, but it also limits your freedom. And then the guns wash up on the shore, and I was like, nope, done. We're done with this show. You basically wrote the first episode and you had all this potential, and you said, nah, we're gonna boil it down to guns, because that's what we like. We like guns. Let's see what happens when you give them guns. You don't need guns to make that interesting. And of course, the show got more ridiculous after that, to the point that it turns out it was just a giant metaphor for being in purgatory. Hooray. Bullshit like that. But I don't know. American television drives me nuts with that kind of stuff, where like you can't just fucking tell a story. You can't tell a story anymore where, you can't have a beginning where you're setting up characters, and then you put them into some variation of danger or social experiment or whatever, and they have to overcome or adapt to or come to grips with some truth or reality that is very human, very universal. That not only teaches the character, but teaches the audience a deeper, more important lesson. Now, we gotta play, piss around episode to episode with, something, whether it be a mystery, a romance, a revenge, an end goal that you're trying to work towards, and you hooked your audience with it, and you're gonna see they're on the ride to see where you end up, where does the road lead to, is there a point where the road forks and you have a choice between going left or going right or going straight or backwards or whatever, and the character takes path A, and you go, well, what if you're taking path B? And that, of course, helps to develop, a greater love for a series, because there's a reason that if you do it correctly, there's a reason the character chose that path, and there's a reason why, usually, why if you do all of the events over again, the character is more than likely going to pick the same direction every time, because the events that lead up to that point only leads him or her in one direction, or the character is forced to make a decision that they later regret, and they have to make up for the past mistake, etc. But television doesn't like to do that. American television likes to do this, where it's like, let's introduce a concept to you. We're going to hook you now, and then we're going to play with the characters, and they're going to get in all kinds of wacky, crazy adventures. And then every couple, I don't know, months, we'll say months, every 5-10 episodes, we're going to throw a serious one in there, because this is what we really wanted to do with the series. But because we were signed for a contract for 26 episodes a season, we have to pad it out. And that's fine if you want to look into other characters or whatever, or pad out this guy over here and build a general, bigger, overarching story where you focus on this actor or this actress, then you get to focus on this actor or this actress over here that's not the main character. But then you do this over the course of 7 seasons, and you completely lose the plot, and the characters become complete jokes of themselves, and ultimately you start relying on stupid tropes or gimmicks that sort of just go, okay, you didn't know what to do with the storyline, so let's just make everybody pregnant, or everybody gets married, or everybody has kids, which is the normal thing that people do, don't get me wrong. But when your answer to everybody's storyline is they get married or pregnant or have children, and then like at a point, like for instance, the storyline will come to an end. Either it'll get canceled or they'll choose to stop making the episodes because they're too expensive. And then you'll end up coming to the end, and people are going to be like, well, I hope this happens. And another person goes, I hope that happens. And then the writers go, we should do what no one's expecting. And then the storyline ends, and you're just like, why the fuck did you end it that way? You spend 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 seasons leading to this point, or maybe you've lost the plot entirely. I don't know. And now it's time to, oh boy, I'm dropping dead all around Gamp. You lost the storyline, or you wanted to create an edgy end in the people were talking about. except you end up with The Sopranos, or you end up with a Northern Exposure, or you end up with a situation where you don't know how to end the show, so you create either a vague or stupid way to end the show. You decide how the show ends. Okay, I can decide how the show ends, but I want to know how you, the writer, the creator, wanted the show to end. And then everything that you've done up to this point in the show should basically lead me to that end point. Like, if a character has spent multiple years trying to become a doctor, guess where the show should end? The show should end with one of two things. Either the character has failed so many times that it's time to pivot, or the character finally succeeds. Sigh. I don't know what to do. Gamp is at very low health now. He should have surrendered if he was supposed to surrender. So there's something I'm missing, or there's something I didn't do right, and I'm not going to be able to recruit him, it looks like. Stand spider. Gross ass spider, I'm not gonna lie. Yep. Pushed him over the edge.
Puss and porridge. The boys got me.
What did you do with the fusils you took from Grimsby, Gamp?
The hell you talking about, boy? Oh, no. But, you go unavenged.
What? Alright, well, I'll have to come back to this mission in the post-game and get him again. Correctly. Anyways, I'm going to cut the episode when we come back. I think we're going to try to progress the storyline here a little bit. So until then, I hope you have a good one.